MSNBC announces that it is scrapping a number of its top liberal talk show hosts during the afternoon and early evening and replacing it with hard news. Is this going to work? So MSNBC has announced that it is canning Ed Schultz and several other of its liberal talk show hosts, its opinionated shows in the afternoon, replacing it with hard news and making room for more straight news coverage from the likes of Brian Williams. Is this going to work? I am highly skeptical. Here's the problem with trying to pivot from sort of a liberal news network, the opposite of Fox News, into a hard news network. And that is, in my opinion, cable news really isn't an ideal medium anymore for hard news or breaking news. If you want to know the news that affects you, that you're most interested in, all you got to do is pick up your phone and go to your Facebook page. I go to my RSS feed. You can go to any news site. You can go right to the section you want. If you care about sports, you can go to the sports section of any newspaper, website, or cable TV network that has a website, and they all do. So I'm just very skeptical about the idea of cable being a delivery mechanism for breaking news. It's technologically obsolete in my view. The other problem MSNBC has is there's already a network for people who want more or less down the middle straight breaking news. It's called CNN. And CNN's ratings on its main U.S. cable network have been anemic for years. Now, the difference for CNN is that CNN is a huge international brand. Its website is wildly successful and profitable. Its niche channels in schools and airports are all very successful. The only thing that's really not very successful is their main U.S. cable news outlet. But I still think it's going to be a lot more successful than if MSNBC tries to do that, because an awful lot of moderates, independents, and some conservatives do trust CNN to sort of give it straight. MSNBC now has this reputation of that's the liberal place. So it's going to be extraordinarily difficult getting moderates, true independents, and conservatives to pay much. They're just not going to want to admit to their friends that they get their news from MSNBC. So it's a very, very small slice. I'll tell you what I think is going on here is MSNBC officials and NBC officials are saying, A, our ratings are down. B, we got to pay this huge salary to Brian Williams. What are we going to do with them? So let's try to solve that problem. Here's the thing. Nobody else in the world cares about NBC's problems, and they certainly don't care about how to justify an exorbitant salary to Brian Williams. So my prediction is that this is going to end in further ratings decline and further problems for MSNBC, more juggling of the calendar. Here's the big, and this is a subject I've given considerable thought to for 30 years, so indulge me. MSNBC said, Fox News is wildly successful, looking at the news filtered through the lens of conservative analysts, thinkers, worldview, like Bill O'Reilly. Let's do the same on the other side. The problem is that isn't how the liberal mindset works. Conservatives like authority. They like hierarchy. They like placing faith in higher authorities. That is fundamental to conservative thought. Liberals are exactly the opposite. So there is a liberal news network out there that's wildly successful. It's called National Public Radio. And on National Public Radio, the hosts are essentially anonymous. And you don't hear from the same people every day. Every story has a new collection of experts, social scientists, professors, researchers. It's wildly eclectic. Now, for conservatives who say NPR is liberally biased, it is in that sense, that it's not about authority, it's not about hierarchy, it's not about viewing the world through a set of conservative principles. You're absolutely right. but it certainly is not the counterpart or the mirror image of Fox TV, or for that matter, Rush Limbaugh conservative talk radio. It's not like that. And unfortunately, that's the only way that you can actually reach the mass of liberal news consumers, in my view. And it can be done in radio. I'm not sure it can be done on cable television. So I'm very pessimistic about the futures of MSNBC. We'll be monitoring it closely.